Ji-Woon doesn't speak very good English at this stage. And
It was perfect for me.
yeah. So what was it like working with Kim?
He is, first of all, a wonderful director, a very gifted director. And he did have 2 translators on the set, which I've never worked with through a director like that before. But he would explain things in such a way that you would know what he was talking about before he was finished, because he's very expressive. And he's like an Asian Buster Keaton. And you talked about when he would, you know, he's going to throw himself, you had to throw yourself on the floor for a scene, and he throws himself on the floor. So you would get what he was saying before the translator even spoke. But I just loved working with Kim Ji-Woon.
And you said that you saw some of his films, and I think my favorite part of our interview was when you started doing sound effects and describing the shot of the eagle from Good, Bad, and Weird, because you just loved that shot so much. Because I could really see that you were geeking out because you loved the work that Kim Ji-Woon, or were you not geeking out? Do you not?
Well, he's he's as you know, a very talented director.
Yeah.
And so the trick was, how do you take someone with so much talent and bring him to Hollywood, bring him to America, and not have the Americans screw him up?
Yeah.
And so that was really, because I've seen firsthand the amount of directors that came over here from Italy, from Germany, from England, from France, from all over the world, Japan, and they have been kind of reduced down to nothing because the studio system is on them and they cannot make a move because the studio comes in with their executives and says, no, that's not the way we do things, we do it this way. In the meantime, they hired him for the way he has directed, but then all of a sudden they try to change him when he's here. And so it really is very, very difficult for someone that comes over here to really show their craft and so that we can hear their voice rather than someone else's. And I think that what we have seen, Johnny, that we have talked about that many times, was that Lorenzo Benaventura, who was the producer, understood that he got to give him the freedom to be himself.
Yeah.
And the director, Kim Ji-Woon, had to be understanding that he had to be a collaborator because the American system is different, the way we shoot movies. That you can't just in the middle of the shooting, like you did with the Good, the Bad, and the Weird, to stop for 30 days and to start thinking about the next move. You know, we don't have that. We don't have that time here because the crew goes on to somewhere else and they start shooting somewhere else because they have to make a living. They all have families and so on. So therefore you don't, so there's certain things you couldn't do. But there's certain things he could do, and that's what you saw on the screen. That was a typical, Kim Ji-Woon film. That's the way he envisioned it, and he wanted to have that kind of music, he wanted to have this kind of editing style, but he was a collaborator, and so this is why I think that guy will go far in this country.
Yeah, I thought he did a tremendous job of filming. I thought right from the opening shot of the road where the guy's measuring the speed of the car going by, one of the things I like about Kim Ji-Woon, especially in like I Saw the Devil, is he understands the power of the use of silence and to just keep it quiet. It just felt so much dread going on in that film as a result of that.
And you say you credit Lorenzo, but that doesn't happen without you and Lorenzo giving him the freedom to do what he did. So that credit goes to both of you. Yeah,
I mean, Lorenzo brought him over to my house to see if I would sign off on him. And of course, after seeing his movies, I immediately said, yeah, I would like to work with this director. And when the subject came up that of his English, being limited, and that he would work through, 2 translators, I said to myself that, wait a minute, who am I to talk, right? Because when I came over to this country, I went to college, and I was working out, and I was doing bodybuilding, and everyone treated me always so well, even though I couldn't speak the language yet well. I was struggling reading the paper, I was struggling watching TV and understanding what the news was saying and all this stuff. But everyone treated me equal as if I was just one of the Americans. So I said to myself, I got to do the same thing with a guy like that who is the difficult is because I guarantee you the next film he does, he will speak better, and the next film he will speak better, and within 4 or 5 movies, he will speak English perfectly, and so that's the shot we were given.